deep diving into these cases is like dancing with the devil. But when you dance with the devil doesn't change. He changes you.
Hi, Leah. I'm going to pull the chat up here on phone. So we got part 2 from the other night. The Mr. went and found the original interview and has gone through it, I think, like 2 times now. But he's got some notes. Let's see here. Oh, I thought I put a clip up here. Damn it. That didn't work. How was your Christmas, Leah? Good to see ya. Okay, we do have that. I'm just gonna get everything ready, and then I'm gonna call the hubby over here. Yep, that's what we want. All right, baby, I'm ready when you are. I get my Pepsi started. Got Mr.'s headphones. Glad we're questioning the taxi thing. In quotes. Yeah, I just always knew he was fucked up with what he was saying, but I mean, I always questioned what else was going on, but I mean, Mark was like, why is he saying that in quotes? And I guess I was just like, this dude's a fucking liar, that's why. But there we go. Are yours good? Oh, let me get it around here.
Hello, everybody. Hope you all had a good Christmas.
Can you move the camera a little so it fits both of us in here?
There we go.
Well, not really, but okay.
What? How could it be any better?
Probably because we know now that since Brandy, went toe-to-toe with him, that they were making up these accounts or whatever. Whether they were fake accounts or not, I don't know if they were fake accounts. They said to sell women or whatever. But one thing we do know is from that interaction between Brandy Neil Vaughn, Monkey's mother, and one of the 4 named suspects, which is Stacey Wondra, whether he wants to argue he's a named suspect or not, he is. Photo and all printed out on big boards, right? By the law. But we know that he has sex abuse on his mind when speaking to Michael Vaughn's mom, Brandy Neil Vaughn. So sex abuse is on his mind when he's been waiting so long to talk to her. That's what's front and center with him. And human trafficking, when human trafficking wasn't even really mentioned more than drug trafficking, because that's what the charges are. So I don't know if someone really told him that someone was into human trafficking, Adrian or whatnot. But yeah.
He brought it up out of nowhere. He wasn't asked.
Yeah.
He volunteered it. So it's very weird. You'll see through the whole interview, like right from the start, he's extremely agitated. like he doesn't want to be doing it. It's almost like someone is forcing him to be on the live. He obviously really doesn't want to be doing it. So like, why is he? But then I got a theory, but
We'll get there.
we'll get there.
I'm going to let you take this one over, baby. You're the one with the notes.
Alrighty. So
I got the pulled up here, ready to go, whatever point you need it.
okay, we'll just get to the.
And I'll link this woman who did the interview. I'm not sure if this was a planned thing or if this just happened, but it was. I'm glad this happened, but I'll link her in description after this. Hey, what up here?
Okay. Oh, we're sharing. Okay, we're good. I didn't realize we were sharing. Okay.
Ow, don't scratch me.
So the first thing that we're gonna skip to in this interview, and by the way, if you want to watch the whole interview, go for it.
We'll link it in the description after.
Yeah. But the first thing is this whole tip about Michael was buried in the backyard thing. That's coming up here in about a minute. We'll start it right here.
Michael was in your yard?
No.
I'm still just trying to make sense.
Okay.
We're talking about something that's fucking 3 years old. I didn't give my statement. Like, I didn't start doing podcasts until 2 years after that. And literally until I got out of fucking prison last November. So it's like you're trying to expect me to fucking, like, remember shit to the fucking T. And I specifically noted in any of the videos that I've done, I said my information may not be 100% accurate to the point, but it is to the best of my knowledge. And I have specified that.
Yeah, he says that multiple times, and yeah, you might get some times wrong, you might get the weather wrong, stuff like that. You're not going to get whether or not a boy was buried in your backyard wrong. So like, this guy is just, he's dumb as paint. Like, he's just, wow.
Like, I don't know what else to give you guys. Like, all I can tell you is that I'm sorry that this boy has gone missing. I'm sorry. Like, if I had answers to give, I would give them to you. I don't have anything to give, and I want Michael to be found just as much
Welcome, Jules.
as everybody else does.
That's another thing is he says a lot of like, I'm sorry this has happened. It's not fair. I wish he could be found. I'm hurting. Stuff like that. Like, the words are good, but the way he says them, there's like anger.
His attitude's not matching.
Yeah. Like, if he was sincere and saying, I wish that he would be found. I'd do anything, whatever. But he's like, he's angry about it. It's very, very weird.
The
Like,
link
I
that was
heard-
just added to chat is for Brandy, everybody. Just letting everybody know. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you, Stacey.
It's fine.
You're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want
But
this
out
boy
of everything you could have told law enforcement, you told them Michael was in your yard.
No.
I'm still just trying to make sense of
I
that.
know, and I get where you're coming from, but what else was I supposed to say to get off my fucking back?
Yeah, to get them off his back, he told them that Michael was in his backyard. How would that get law enforcement off your back?
No, instead it had law enforcement there digging up the yard because not only did he say that, multiple dogs hit there as well.
Yeah, like, it makes no sense to say that. Like,
Hi, Eve. Welcome.
and he said it to law enforcement. He admitted he said it to law enforcement.
Samantha. Okay, I'm newer to this channel, I believe, but we subbed her up after this. So yeah, good. It was a good interview by Samantha.
Yeah, she did great. She did her best to let
Let them
Stacey and Brandy each have their free reign, but also she'd step in when it was necessary. But
Yeah.
yeah, she did awesome. This was a really good interview.
They weren't listening to the fact that I had zero involvement. And I told them that time and time and time again in every one of the fucking interviews that I did with them. Yes, I made it. I 100% made it up. But guess what? They haven't fucking contacted me since. And no, I haven't talked to fucking law enforcement. And if they wanted to talk to me, I'm sure I'd be more than willing to talk to them. Like, yeah, I know it.
It's
I
just so
get
dumb.
I have a question. So if I'm a named suspect, like named during multiple press conferences at this point, and the law is hanging up big pictures, but I'm innocent, are you waiting for the law to contact you again? Like, I'd be like, what can I do to clear my name out of this fuckery? Like, I'm innocent. What can I do for you? Because instead he sounds like Don. Well, why would I call the law to ask about somewhere? They haven't called us. Excuse me? What?
Yeah, I'd be, as soon as, you know, a news broadcast or whatever, and I see my picture with 3 other people, and like, these people have information about what happened to Michael, I'd be calling them and saying, I don't have the information, but what can I do to get my name cleared? Because this is ridiculous. But so what he does is he tells law enforcement, Michael's buried in my backyard. That'll stop them.
Yeah, that'll show them.
In what world does that make sense? Like, I cannot figure it out why he would say that.
To get them off their back, which is just, yeah, stupid. And again, it wasn't just one dog. I can't remember how many, but it was multiple dogs. In my opinion, from what I remember, I'll have to find all that. I do remember Brandy Neal Vaughn being on live, and we could hear like the bobcats and stuff, and we all felt for her because she had no choice but to hear what was going on.
Yeah, it's only a few houses away.
Oh,
I can't even imagine that.
yeah.
God. Okay, so now we can go to
Hi, Lana.
about 207. We'll go about here.
how they have all this, CCTV video footage of us being parked on the side of Southwest 8th Street. When I put power steering fluid in the truck, they have video footage of me pulling in the fucking splash pad to get my can of chew out of the fucking side of the passenger side of the car.
We'll have to show you that. That too, to me, was pretty staged. Just like Candace running around from store to store, in my opinion, was all for alibi situations. She wanted people, she wanted to be seen on camera somewhere. Much like I feel like Texas Roadhouse was an alibi situation in Sebastian Rogers' case. I do believe, because I think we saw the video of that, he was outside a Quick Trip. And he was going around, outside his car looking for his can of chew. All right. In my opinion, that was all staged so that he would see Stacey Wondra on camera at that time.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of things, he'll talk about that and he'll bring other things up. And it's like he's trying to establish this. There's no way I had anything to do with it, but just in case someone in my house did, I'm giving everything I can. Mm-hmm. That's what it feels like to me.
Hi, TJ. Welcome. Thanks for being over here, guys.
But
my understanding,
coincidentally,
from what my understanding is, the CTV camera picks up more towards the end of 8th.
No, that's not. No, because Southwest 8th Street wasn't at the end. It was right directly outside of our subdivision. Might I mention that there's a neighborhood watch which have cameras all throughout the fucking neighborhood, so they can pinpoint us leaving our neighborhood. They can pinpoint us being parked on Southwest 8th Street, and they can pinpoint me being at the splash pad at 1:30 in the afternoon. But somehow, some way, they can't fucking pinpoint where Michael is. They can't pinpoint anywhere on video footage. I mean, don't you guys think it's a little fucking weird?
Did law enforcement tell you?
Absolutely, they fucking did. Yeah, they showed me every fucking thing. That's what I'm like. You guys don't even understand.
he said law enforcement showed him everything. Now, I'm not a cop, but I'm just kind of thinking that I would not show people, whether they're a person of interest, a suspect, or not, all the video footage I have. I wouldn't show them that.
No, all of these people keep saying, like Chris Proudfoot, the law showed me this and told me this. The law will show you whatever they want, tell you whatever they want to make you, the suspect, start to feel comfortable. Because once you're comfortable and start believing the law thinks you're not a suspect, that's when the big mistakes are going to happen. Just like this here interview that Stacey did. And I'm really glad he was half brain dead enough to do this.
Uh-huh.
His words, by the way, not mine.
And I do want to say one other thing, too. In all these cases, like the lie detector, people say, yeah, I took it and I passed. Law enforcement may tell someone that they passed when they didn't. Like,
Even
just
if you
saying
did
that
pass, it doesn't
they
matter.
passed doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, a real psychopath can pass a lie detector. They are not admissible in court for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
This dude could go take 3 different polygraphs with 3 different polygraphers and get 3 different. So, yeah. And again, they might have told him he passed. We don't know that. And whether he passed or not doesn't matter, because if it doesn't matter in a court of law, it sure doesn't matter to me.
They might have told him he failed, too, and he's just telling us that they said he passed.
Yeah, because one thing, and I bring this up in the Proudfoot case, is the police, like Chris Proudfoot, can come and say he passed all the lie detectors in the world. But in every case you see this, the Wells, the Proudfoots, now with them, what you don't see and what never happens is we're not going to see the TBI or the law enforcement come out and be like, he's lying, he didn't pass. They're keeping that shit tight and hoping for a trial to nail these sons of bitches, in my opinion. But the law is never going to come out and say, these guys are lying, you know? Hi, Sammy.
Okay, so we covered that. Oh, and he also says, I think coming up right away here, that he, Brendan, and Sarah all took polygraphs. He doesn't say if Adrian did or not.
Like, you guys, like, I get you guys like to play detective, and that's cool. Play detective. But you're not the one that had the encounters with the fucking Prt2 Police Department, nor the detectives, nor fucking fucking Idaho State Police, or the fucking FBI.
Just like Chris Proudfoot says, nobody else got the cops driving them around in the back of the car to look at spots. You know who they do that with? Serial killers, when they're trying to find the body, they will drive them around in the back to see, for one, like, where are they mostly paying attention to and where they're telling the cops to go. That's nothing to brag about. Like, you don't have one over us because you've been rubbing elbows with the law. You are a suspect.
Little do you guys know, I'm the one that voluntarily gave a fucking polygraph test and passed it with flying colors, specifically the 5 questions that they asked.
Are you the only one that took polygraph
No,
tests?
Sarah and Brandon both did it because they both got brought in the same day.
Are
Brandon
you aware of one of your friends that
So they got brought in. He volunteered. Okay.
Right. Good catch, baby. Hi, Aggie.
Came up
Aggie?
on-
Aggie? How do you say this name?
Aggie.
Aggie.
on my panel a couple of weeks ago?
Who's that?
I don't know. She was a blonde. If anybody in chat remembers her name, her like YouTube name, she was saying that she was your friend, and then she pulled you up on her phone while she was up on my panel screaming about Adrian was at the house that night. And we know that you've said that Adrian was not at the house that night, but your friend was saying that he was.
I don't know.
So I'm just
A
curious.
blonde.
So that was a lot of information, and he may have lost track and been focused on this girl. But she just said that he said Adrian wasn't at the house, and he never corrected her. Because later he's going to say that Adrian was at the house.
He is locked up again. Yes, he got picked up shortly after doing this. on a probation violation. That is correct. I hear he's still in. And I was expecting that fully after this. One of the main things we'll get to, but it's clear what's on his mind with human trafficking and sexual abuse tied to Michael Vaughn, and that's new. So I was waiting. I knew he would get hauled in for that. They would have found any reason for him, which I'm not sure that was a shelter. I honestly think that he was possibly around drugs and alcohol, and that he broke probation. They hauled him in, and now they can question him. And welcome, Heather. Lolly, Pamela.
Blonde friend? I don't have any blonde friends. I'm sorry. I don't
country-
have.
Adrian's alibi also recanted their story.
I didn't know that. I'd like to see where I can find that, if you could.
Yeah, I'd like to, if anyone has spoken to Adrian.
When you lie, you don't remember what you say. You can't keep up with what you say. Yes, yes, that's definitely going on with this one here. Absolutely, Jules.
Yeah, and Stacey's focused on this girl being blonde. He says he has no blonde friends. No, he doesn't know any blonde women.
Because girls don't dye their hair. You know, like what?
Yeah.
That's weird.
It's like, that's like his out. It's like if she dyed her hair blonde at one point when she was talking to people, but she was normally a brunette. It's like his out.
Cuz. Her name was Cuz, C-U-Z. And then when she
Who?
came up on panel, it came up Country Cuz.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah, some blonde girl says that she talks to you all the time and that
No.
she was
I don't-
not saying that you said that Adrian was at the house. She was just trying to convince everybody on panel that Adrian was at the house and she's your friend and she knew. So I was just asking you, was Adrian at the house that night?
No. I like I said, I specified that.
Okay, he just said no. Adrian wasn't at the house, but he's going to say that Adrian was at the house.
No, Adrian was at the house because he was the only one that was left there when we had left. Because we had asked him if he wanted to come with us that night, and he said, "No, I'm going to stay home." And
So you're
specified
saying that Adrian was at the house when you guys left to go to Kuna?
Yep. And I told you, I specified that on panel.
Oh,
Yes, he specified that. He specified that he wasn't there, and he specifies everything,
He says,
all
"Whoops."
options. Okay, so now we're gonna go to. Well, we might as well just leave it play. It's gonna be his big heart and his world of charity. And
But he didn't have access. He didn't have access to any of our vehicles. We don't ever leave our fucking vehicles or any of our means of transportation anywhere in the house.
yeah, he says that a few times, and it's like it's going with my theory that he wants to put out there that we had nothing to do with it, but just in case someone in our house did, we didn't let him take our vehicles. We didn't do this. We didn't do that. It's like he's setting Adrian up and trying to make himself look as innocent as possible. It's like he maybe could have copied a key or whatever, but we never explicitly gave him permission to use our vehicles.
And we would never let him drive our vehicle.
Maybe Stacey wouldn't, but his wife was sure banging Adrian, so would she?
was he there when you guys got back home? After
Yeah.
the towing?
Yeah, he was in his fucking room.
I'd personally never heard that before, so.
No.
OG Nanny says, I thought he went to spend time with his kids. Are we talking about Stacey Wondra or Adrian? Sorry.
Both.
They both have children?
I have no idea if either of them have children.
OG Nanny, are you still in here, boo? Could you, what did you mean by they went to spend time with their kids? Is that Adrian that you're speaking about, Stacey, or both? Not allow him to use vehicle, but you let him share your wife. Yes, ma'am. Adrian, she says. Okay, so Adrian went to see his kids. Interesting. Okay, because I now we all heard too within 3 days of Michael being abducted. I'm going to use abducted because that is true to what I feel is in Brandy Neal Vaughn's heart, because she corrected him a few times. I noticed when he was like, when your son disappeared, and she said was abducted. So I'm going to say abducted because I believe her heart and what she thinks as a mother's intuition and what she knows. Which again, I'll repeat, she did a hell of a job with this. That woman has more class and strength than most. Her and Billy Joe would be good friends, let me tell you. They are strong women.
He was in the room. Like, he was in his little fucking bedroom that he fucking destroyed when he left with his fucking little pubic hair of his fucking head.
Yeah, banging your wife.
Like,
Do you know who the Pope twins are?
And again, we're talking about Michael, and he had to drop pubic hair to describe the situation, you know? What is on this dude's mind?
Yeah.
who?
The Pope twins?
No. I have no idea who the fuck that is.
The Pope?
I have a recording. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I have a recording. It's of one of the Pope twins pretty much sending a message to Adrian when Adrian threw them under the bus for Michael's abduction. You don't know anything about that?
I don't even know who the Pope twins are. I've never heard of them a day in my life. Like I said, Sarah and I ran a taxi company. We were not there to make friends. Yes, we helped people out.
A taxi company, baby?
Mm-hmm.
But we're not there yet, are we?
No.
Okay.
Occasionally with a place to help them get on their feet. Yes.
Okay, yeah. He's occasionally we give someone a place to help them get on their feet. Remember that.
It's a flop house. I'm sorry.
We allowed people, which is why we're in this fucking predicament. And not just this predicament.
Brandy's asking for
So he blames Adrian for this whole thing. He just said that's why we're in this predicament. It's because they let Adrian come to their house.
one. Sorry to interrupt you, Stacey, but Brandy's ready to take the link.
Okay. Go ahead.
Can somebody throw that up, please?
Really quick, I'm gonna drop my email in here. If you guys can send me, I'm looking up Pope twins, and it's coming up children's books and two artists that are sisters. I hear voices19@yahoo.com. If there's anything you want us to look at or Mark to go over in this, please email me and we'll get it. We'll get to it. But I'd like to know more about the Pope twins. What was the other thing I was asking about? Oh, Adrian. Where can I see where Adrian said he was with his kids? That would be awesome if you guys could.
Yeah, because Stacey is definitely says repeatedly that Adrian was there the day that Michael went missing or was abducted. Sorry. Okay, so Brandy came up and she had some connection issues and stuff.
Hi, Sally.
So we just skipped ahead a little bit. But yeah, I got a timestamp here, something we got to talk about.
We would never allow ourselves to be involved or play
just a bit.
These different people's interviews. I'm sorry, you have to forgive me right now. I'm very, very sick. My mental fog is absolutely hell. And honestly speaking with you is
not easy.
No, sir, it is not easy.
I don't believe you.
What?
Oh, I
mean, I don't blame you.
But the fact that he said it's not easy right there, like, why wouldn't it be?
Right.
Why wouldn't it be easy? If I was innocent,
if you're so innocent,
it would be easy.
Right, baby.
Like, Brandy, I've been trying to talk to you for like a minute, and I know it's taken a lot.
They're fucking neighbors.
Yeah.
Like, if he really wanted to talk to her, he could have just, like, gone to her house, knocked on the door.
Yeah, maybe slipped a message in her mailbox. Hey, I'd love to chat with you. Is there a good time? Here's my number.
Yeah.
And Stacey, you cut out.
Sorry.
There you go.
Like, I know it's not easy talking to me, Brandy, and and it's not, you know, it's never gonna be easy talking to me because and all you've heard is my videos that I've done with either law enforcement or done on YouTube, but I've never directly spoken with you.
What does he mean he did videos for law enforcement?
Well, they probably, when they interviewed him, they probably filmed it.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that's what he means. He says some weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he can't really articulate himself all that well.
Okay.
Like, I need you to know, Brandy, I didn't have anything to do with your little boy. Nor did Sarah, and nor did Brandon. We would never allow ourselves to be involved or play a part in something as serious as like this, let alone yeah, I have a felony history.
Yeah, okay, this is where it gets really weird. He says we would never allow ourselves to be involved or play a part. What a weird way to say that. Allow yourself? It all feeds into my theory that he basically knows that somebody in that house did something to Michael, and he's trying to make it sound like I would have nothing to do with it, but in case it did happen in my house, I would never be a part of something like this. It's like he's trying to, it really feels like he's trying to set Adrian up, and then he gets even weirder as he keeps talking.
It all had something to do with it in some way.
But guess what? My felony history doesn't pertain to sex offense crimes.
Yeah, just
Enforcement or done on YouTube, but I've never directly spoken with you. Like, I need you to know, Brandy, I didn't have anything to do with your little boy. Nor did Sarah, and nor did Brandon. We would never allow ourselves to be involved or play a part in something as serious as like this, let alone yeah, I have a felony history, but guess what? My felony history doesn't pertain to sex offense crimes.
Okay.
he has a felony history, but it doesn't pertain to sex offense crimes.
Nobody said it did. Ever in the 3.5 years, by the way, have I... Because trust me, if I heard that, because I've already had... Again, I said this in part 1, but a lot of you guys have seen me in the chats, especially the chat of this going on, and I was calling Stacey a creeper all along. And creeper, what I really meant was he looks like dude in mom's basement that's definitely got loads of inappropriate child pee stuff. That's what I meant by creeper. He looks like a textbook child creeper predator. So the fact that that's on his mind while he's got Brandy up here, who's been waiting so long, is a huge red flag. So he maybe wasn't there when Michael was taken, but in my belief, from what we've all witnessed, I believe Michael was there at that house, and I think everybody did something to Michael in whatever way that was, and it's obvious what's in his brain when speaking to Michael's mom. Disgusting.
Yep. No one brought up sex offenses.
Nope.
It was just on his mind talking about Michael being abducted.
And human trafficking, which also wasn't brought up. Drug trafficking was.
And he'll bring up human trafficking later.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, he knows that Michael was SA'd.
Yep.
There's no other reason on this planet that you would say that. There's no reason. No, it was never asked. It was never brought up. Had nothing to do with what was this conversation. It was just out of the blue. Very jarring.
Hi, Joan. Yeah, I thought, honestly, for a long time, is maybe something happened and Michael had wandered out onto the road to maybe get a ball, something he was playing with, and maybe he got hit and people panicked and, tried to hide evidence of that. But now, that is so far out of my brain, and it's not my fault. It's his fault, because this is how he's talking to Miss Brandy Neal Vaughn, Michael's mother. So I have no choice in my mind now but to think that happened.
Yeah. So there's more of the same crap. And here.
Shit going on internally. What I can tell you and what I can give you is what I've given you. I only speak for myself at this point. But I can also tell you that Brandon and Sarah were with me that whole night.
He keeps speaking for everybody else. So I don't know why he said that. And Justice for you, welcome.
Welcome, Justice.
Okay, here's Brandy. She's back again. Sorry, hon. I know it's hard to hear. He is at a shelter right now, so there's a little bit of voice going on in the background.
Okay. Am I echoing?
No.
Nope, you're not echoing.
Okay.
Just hate his look right now.
Take a few deep breaths, Brandy. We know that it's hard. We know.
You can ask me any questions you want, Brandon.
Oh, can she?
You can ask me anything you want, and I'm only going to give you the truth.
See,
one
the
tough
words are nice, but the way he's saying it is like
all wrong.
aggressive.
Yeah. Hi, Juniper.
You don't want to bring it up fast?
Yes, I agree, Juniper.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Patty. Welcome. Can you guys drop Brandy Strong with some blue hearts? Brandy Strong, Michael Strong, blue hearts.
Why are you lying? Who are you lying to? Me or law enforcement or the world?
I'm not lying to anybody. I haven't lied, Brandy. And that's the thing.
He hasn't lied. So he told law enforcement that Michael was in his backyard. Was that a lie?
Yes.
He says he hasn't lied. So was that the truth? Was Michael in the backyard?
Right. There you go.
Like,
Hi, babe. Yeah.
I don't have, nor have I had any involvement with something like this.
Hi, Chaos Queen. Welcome.
Like,
However, not all of it is.
your boy deserves to come home to you. And I want nothing more than for him to come home to you.
Again, the words are nice, but the way he says it, and he says it a lot, it's just kind of annoying.
Yeah, it rubs me wrong. The way he's sitting and looking at her, it just gives me certain things, and I know people think I'm crazy for this, but it's the whole vibe of, again, of Dawn and Candace watching the searchers all day, hurt their ankles and are limping. That's the type of shit that just makes the hair on my arm stand up like this creep plague.
Yeah.
And I remember telling Sarah specifically, don't fucking do it.
So you didn't have any involvement in them setting up fake accounts to
No.
guys
And I
rob
no,
them
no,
because
not
they're
at all.
smarter than you?
Not at all. I wouldn't allow myself with that.
They didn't set that up? Oh, but so you knew that.
Always saying I wouldn't allow myself to be involved. I wouldn't allow myself to do this and that. It's such a weird way of saying I had nothing to do with it.
And keep saying, no, I had nothing to do with it, or I didn't know about that, but you go to explain everything. So you were definitely in the room. So clearly you had no say in your marriage, right? Or which Mark will get there, but you let her run around and bang everyone. Or was that something you did? I know there's a family on here. Husband pimps his wife out and she goes and does it so they have money. So Mark will get to that though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm skipping past some stuff, but basically the gist is Adrian came to the house to stay with them as a way of getting on his feet.
Yeah, we'll get there.
And that night, he suggests to Stacey, or not to Stacey, to Sarah, that they create fake accounts and do like a prostitution scam in front of Stacey, but Adrian approached his wife about it.
That they were setting it up, but because
No.
they
No.
were smarter than you, Adrian and Sarah were, that
He knows
They-
nothing about it, but he's
they
going
were
to
going to do
correct
it
her here.
to rob these people so you guys had money.
No, and we never, to my knowledge, the only income that we were getting, Brandy, was from our taxi,
Hi, Emily.
from doing taxi rides. There's a reason Aero Express got put out of business.
So right there, he says taxi. We're doing taxis, okay? I want you guys to watch when he does this. No, there's no air quotes with taxi right there.
Because of their pricing and how they were out charging people.
That happens.
There's a reason we were the only taxi company in Fruitland, between Fruitland, Ontario.
Yeah, this is a whole very weird rant. I'll let you guys listen to it, but it makes no sense. It doesn't, like, the dude's lost the plot. It's not even following the conversation.
Like, that was our source of income.
That was the only. What happened? Oh, the lube company.
The lube company didn't work out specifically because Arturo Rojas, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Mm-hmm.
And
He'll be back.
You cut out, Stacey. Oh, there
He's
you are.
about to say
I'm
he
right
got
here.
a place where it cleans oil really good, and all that popped in my mind was, okay, so you have a potential crime scene that you could clean up easily from blood, bodily fluids. I'm sorry, or even clean something off that may have had that on there. You know what I mean? So I know he's explaining whatever. Because he was like in whatever the lube company is, I'm guessing like oil changes, shit like that. But to know that there was a spot with a power washer and can clean, like, oil is not easy to get off of shit. So if you can clean motor oil up easily, I'm assuming it's a good spot that you can bring something that's bloody and clean it up.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me, I got to blow my.
No, like Arturo Rojas was the owner of the Looks New, the detail building that we were renting a shop bay out of.
I know, but
And in our contract agreement that we assigned, it said that he would allow us to use the air compressor that was set up in there and the wash bay system to be able to spray off the concrete inside the shop so that we didn't leave oil stains.
Yeah, we know.
And we
I
had
remember this.
and when his daughter had come in there doing an inspection and coming to talk to us, I had the air compressor going and she threw a fit about it. And then it caused a huge conflict with her and her dad, and we just decided that, look, like, we're not going to do this. Like, we had an agreement, it was in the contract, that you would allow us to use the air compressor and the stuff in the shop until we were able to get our own air compressor and get it on our feet. And so that's the reason we had moved out of that shop. We have also had a company called Wondra Mechanic and Repair.
Mhm.
And that, like,
Take notes of all these companies because it it goes along with. We'll do a different show on that, but I've done it in Summer's case and what all these little companies that you have on your own and how that goes into trafficking, but it's found a lot in child trafficking. Tim Mullen, for example, he's the photographer, he's the historian, and you know what I'm saying? So the taxi service and all of these failed businesses are all, in my opinion, just, I mean, to make quick money, yes, but you do see a lot of this in child trafficking world.
that was only a temporary thing because I just, like, I
Okay,
didn't want
so you had all of these. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but you had all of these businesses that you tried to get to work, right? I want to know more about this plan to setting up fake accounts and pretending to be women.
I can't. Here's the thing. So I can't give you more than what I can tell you right now.
You
Is
can't
that
tell me about how Adrian.
no, no, no? Like what I'm telling you is, I don't know anything other than Adrian, when he first came in to stay with us,
Okay.
had approached Sarah and said, "Hey, I'm trying to find a way to make some money. I have an idea that we could create some fake accounts as women and get money from people." And I specifically told Adrian and Sarah, I said, "No, you guys shouldn't be doing this shit. That's illegal, number one. And number two, it's not right to take from people."
Okay.
And I specifically told
It's not right. Mr. Moral High Ground, and how many felonies and charges have you had? But now he's like he's a saint.
Adrian because he claimed that he got disability or fucking workers' comp out of the state of New York somehow or some way. Because the whole deal was when we agreed to let him stay with us, it was, "Oh, I'll pay you, I'll pay you $250 a week."
$250 a week. $1,000 a month for a room. And you're helping this person get on their feet. That's a little steep if you ask me.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone gets $250 a week from unemployment.
And he says it multiple times.
He
It's
does.
not-
He
it's not
says
a-
a week many times. Like, this is not a mistake.
To rent out that room. And we're like, okay. And then when the first week came, and because he's like, "Oh, I get paid this such and such day." I forgot what day it was. He's like, "When I get paid this day, I'll give you guys $250. Well, that day came, and he's like, "Oh, my money didn't hit." And then we're like, "Okay, well, like we're just gonna add it on to, what you owe us for this week."
Week.
Then the next week,
Next week.
I'm sorry, I apologize for being,
Thank you,
swearing.
Stacey.
I don't mind the swearing. Absolutely not. We know why you have.
So later on, it's going to get switched to $275 a month. Actually, Brandy says $275, and then Stacey will start saying $275, and then it's monthly. So
Yeah.
I don't think Adrian was paying anything. I think there was a different reason he was in that house.
Are you sure you emailed me, Heather? I didn't get an email.
Be similar, but if it's bothering other people, definitely.
I know, and I apologize, guys. I'm sorry for the words. Brandy,
Thank you for-
I can't.
Like, it bugs me because this is how he's talking when he says he wanted to talk to Brandy all of this time, and he's just angry about it, which makes zero sense. Brandy doesn't even come with this type of energy, and she's the one who's entitled to it, So that's already a huge red flag in my opinion. Heather Boo, I did not get your email. Could you resend it? I hear voices19@yahoo.com. Thank you. Okay, sorry.
Can't give
Stacey,
you.
go ahead. I really want to. I hear more about Adrian and his time with you guys, because I want to understand more of this. Was that okay? I'm sorry. Please continue. Finish what you were stating about how Adrian didn't pay you the $275, and then the next week you were at the next week. I'm sorry.
So after the second week came, he was like, "Oh, well, I can only give you $150." Well, it became a repetitive pattern. And see, when Adrian, so Adrian was a quote unquote taxi ride.
First of all,
Quote unquote taxi
Melissa,
ride.
hi, welcome.
Well, it became a repetitive pattern. And see, when Adrian, so Adrian was a quote unquote taxi ride that Sarah had taken the call.
And that's how they met. But he was a quote unquote taxi ride. What does that mean?
When did he do this before saying Adrian was it? By the way, this was the time. So I come home from work, and Mark is going through this and taking his notes, and he goes, "Why the hell would Stacey do this when he says taxi ride?" And what'd you say? You thought that he meant?
I think that taxi ride they were doing something else along with giving rides.
So knowing that Sarah has banged Brandon and Adrian and her husband and probably multiple others, was the taxi ride with Adrian actually escorting service?
That's what I think.
Because they were making up these things for, wanting to rob people and fake escorting. However, there's other people where I see this person's husband pimping his wife out on YouTube. And fucking, yeah. And as soon as Mark said that, I was like, that makes too much sense, because he's talking about these taxi rides, but how did Adrian get to the house? How did y'all get introduced to Adrian? He was a taxi ride that Sarah picked up.
Yeah. Yeah, and the quotes thing really, it doesn't make sense.
So yeah, I definitely have a feeling that Sarah Wondra is an escort.
Yep, something weird there for sure.
And when Adrian had called her, and this is what Sarah told me, that Adrian had called her and said that he was going through a hard time. He was staying in Caldwell behind some fucking some dumpster, or whatever he claimed. And Sarah had asked me, so she goes,
Business, yeah.
so I wanted to talk to you. She goes, I have this taxi customer that had called that, is going through a hard time. He's down and out, and she goes, I wanted to talk to you about possibly helping out with a place to stay. And I told Sarah specifically, I said, you know how I feel about this. I said, yes, I don't have a problem helping somebody out. I said, but we have been burned on multiple accounts from helping people out. And I told Sarah that it was not a good idea. I did not feel good about it in my gut. But I told her, I was like, look, I said, you're going to do what you want to do. I'm not trying to argue.
Okay.
So if you bring him here, then bring him here.
Okay.
Well,
Let me cut you off right there.
Who the hell brings a stranger to live with them like that?
Right.
Like that's weird.
Well, that's why it's a flop house. There's definitely bad shit happening there. And it's absolutely, like the Wells, a flop house. There's, helping people. He's just trying to paint himself like he's a good guy. The Wells were helping everybody too, and look what happened. All their kids were running around naked in front of these people. Summer's gone, and all kinds of abuse is happening. So, Sarah and Stacey's house was absolutely, in my opinion, allegedly a flop house.
Because I don't want my brain to get muffled right now.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
So let's go to that day that Adrian brought up this.
The fake profile?
Yeah. Did Adrian come the same day that Michael was taken?
No. Adrian had come, I think he was at our house for at least 2 months.
2 months before then?
If you... Okay, so you decide to help this guy out. Give him a leg up by charging him $250 a week. Okay? The first night he's at your house, he suggests some scam that you're extremely uncomfortable with. But you still let him live there. Okay.
When was the time that he brought up the
day he came to stay with us? It was that night.
Because
we were trying to confirm with him. We were basically trying to vet him because he was claiming how he got employment benefits from New York. But then his story didn't match up to me. I just didn't get it. I was like, how do you get employment benefits from another state when you don't even live in that state? It just didn't make sense to me.
It does make sense because you already knew that he was getting something from somewhere, because that's how he was going to help you guys with your $250 a week. Let's not pretend you guys didn't know and probably even try to get food stamps and all of that from multiple states. This is what flop houses do. Okay.
Yeah, he knew damn well. He's playing dumb.
Yeah.
And then when he approached the question about, saying, hey, there's a way we can make money, he had asked Sarah. He didn't ask me. He had asked Sarah, and I was in the room. And he had asked and said, hey, would you be willing to help me if, create some fake profiles and we can make money off of people? And I specifically told Sarah, and I looked at her and I said, no. And I looked at Brandon or Adrian too, and I said, no. I said, I'm not okay with this. I said, that's not okay to take from people.
Just told himself, Brandon and Adrian, him and Sarah were all over there when this is going on.
Or is it okay to create a fake account just so you can bank off of somebody and create, a false prostitution app or account? I said, I'm not okay with that. And I told them that, and I told them my boundary.
Wow.
And from that point on, I don't know what happened.
So let me
Yeah, again, it's like I had nothing to do with it, but he always leaves that little bit open. It's like something could have been happening, but I wasn't involved. I wouldn't be involved.
Shayla, people would think that, but you would be surprised. I mean, look at the type of dudes all banging this chick anyway. So, I mean, yeah, you wouldn't think because she's a bigger girl and not very attractive to you or I or whatever. But at some point that doesn't really matter, So, and if this is the type of someone that looks like Stacey's probably the dude that's gonna buy someone that but yeah, the whole this and with how sexual is in Stacey's mind, and we all know because Stacey come out and his wife was banging everyone and he was okay with it. The only time I think you're gonna be okay with your wife banging everyone and you're still gonna bang her is if your wife is for sale. Cause my husband ain't no fucking way. I'm a taxi driver. Hey babe, this guy I gave a ride to, he's really hard up and needs help to get on his feet. Can he live with us?
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Of course not. That's just stupid.
Yeah. So they were already making their, accounts for females anyways. But, I mean, I don't know when Sarah married Stacey or what, or how lucrative the actual taxi business is for money. But there's something there because, again, taxi ride with Sarah and Adrian. What the fuck? Was it a taxi ride or not? Obviously not. Was she banging him in the back of your taxi? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Something's wrong there.
Mm-hmm.
clear. So the night that you met Adrian, and he came to live with you guys, he proposed this to you all.
Correct.
Okay. And then, so he continued to stay with you, and this was 2 months prior to Michael being
Your boy's
abducted.
disappearance.
Abduction.
His abduction, correct. So I'm sorry. If I got the chance to speak to you, I'm trying to go off. I have a list of things I want to ask, and I'm trying to.
Brandy, ask anything you want. I'm an open book.
It's okay, Brandy. We totally get it. It's got to be like the hardest thing in the world. Plus, we know if it's the medicine or her illness.
Want you to know that.
Let's
Well,
get
she
back.
loses train of thought. So
Yeah, let's get back on track because once it goes, and it's really hard and it's embarrassing for me because then.
It's okay. And I want you to know I've been praying for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And it sounds like to me, Stacey, Adrian is
Oh, I know why. That's what I'm.
maybe a pretty bad guy, and it sounds like he got.
Well,
you
and
guys
that's what I told Sarah, because that's exactly what I told Sarah after we went to bed that night. I said, I literally approached.
After we went to bed that night. Like, still obviously sleeping. But do you guys not remember like a year or so ago, he was dogging Sarah and letting us know who all she was banging. Like, It's totally different now. He's got her back. He's got Brandon's back. And like you said, seems like he's really trying to put something mostly on Adrian.
Yeah.
Michael Joseph Vaughn. I have looked into a lot of things. I court documents.
He's still got his wedding ring on in here.
What was
Bobby.
the domestic violence involved in that Adrian was involved in July of 2021? I believe it was July 24th, 2021. So he would have been living with you at that time.
I have no knowledge of any domestic violence. When we started getting so initially when law enforcement when your boy had gotten abducted, when the police department and the detectives had came and done meeting with everybody, when the detectives got done meeting with everybody within our household, I believe it was Juanita or Anita or whatever her name is, had came and told us, that you guys know that Adrian's a known human trafficker. And
What?
Saying that.
Why did he just drop that?
For real.
It wasn't part of the question.
No.
She was asking about a domestic violence charge.
Yeah.
Like,
and who cares, some Juanita fake ass psychic person, or whether you believe or whatever? Who cares if that's what she told you? Again, why? So what? Anyone can tell you anything.
mm,
So, and again, you got Brandy, which you waited 3.5 years, you say, to talk to, and this is where your head's at.
yeah. And
Drug
that's
trafficking was brought up. Sorry.
just so weird that he just brought that up for no reason.
Can I hear how that went again?
Juanita or Anita and done meeting with everybody.
Yeah, go back a little bit
It was July 24th, 2021. So he would have been living with you at that time.
July 24th, okay.
I have no knowledge of any domestic violence. When we started getting so initially when law enforcement when your boy had gotten abducted, when the police department and the detectives had came and done meeting with everybody, when the detectives got done meeting with everybody within our household, I believe it was Juanita or Anita or whatever her name is, had came and told us, that you guys know that Adrian's a known human trafficker.
Something that I'm remembering, and I want to remind people, because even Don was shocked about this and tried to argue me, but Tim Mullen tried to be Brandy Neal Vaughn's
media manager.
media management. And she said, oh, hell no, okay? Now, from what I hear, just because Brandy turned him down, I do believe that Stacey absolutely, and at least Sarah, but Stacey 100% sure was in touch with Tim Mullen. So keep that in mind. Why, I don't know, not that it has anything, but I do think that maybe they felt more secure talking. And you'll see his phone gets hit up a lot too when he's doing these interviews. And it's very much like what happened to Don Wells. So that's just a side note, but something I remembered, which is very odd in this situation as well.
And I was like, what? Because here's we don't do background checks on the, you know what I mean? We didn't we're Christian
Hi, hot mess. Welcome.
people, we felt like
You're Christian people. Your wife is banging everybody in that house. But you're Christian. Sure.
helping people was what God wanted us to do. So what would be the point? Maybe, definitely in the future, if this ever,
Here
were
comes
to
the
help
God
somebody
talk.
out, yeah, I'm going to vet everybody. I'm going to do background checks. But that's that wasn't even a thought in our head. You know what I mean? And so, give me 1 second.
Right, Heather.
I just wanted to let you know, Brandy, that
So they're going to keep talking for a bit about this domestic violence thing with Adrian. But there's some confusion as to whether the event occurred July 2021 or there was a court or a video call or something. No one seems to know. Stacey says he has no knowledge of it, and Adrian was there, so not too sure
What it means.
what to do with all of that. Okay, 250.
The date of the incident. I'm trying to remember. Thank you for meeting, Stacey. Do you remember how much Adrian said you could make? Did he tell you how much? I'm sorry, was that it was 275 or was there more?
No, so Adrian said that his only source of income was from the New York Department of Labor or whatever it is, from his unemployment benefits. And I never really questioned it too much, because I was like, all right, well, you say you claim that you have this money or you coming in, okay, that's fine. We couldn't exactly sign him on the lease because it wasn't our house. That would be considered subleasing, which we would have gone through Sarah's parents. So we were kind of like, we did talk to Sarah's parents. Like,
Why would it have to go? It's my understanding Sarah owns that house, and so I'm not sure if Stacey's name on it because they're married or what, but I thought, rumor is it's in Sarah's.
He just said it's her parents' house.
It's her parents' house, okay.
But why would he need to be on the lease? Like, again, he keeps just dropping information that makes no sense.
Yeah, if you're just helping him get helping him get on his feet, why are we putting this taxi client on the lease of your wife's house now? What is happening?
It makes no sense at all.
No, because, okay, am I just thinking this, or did we not hear rumors that Stacey and Sarah broke up because Sarah was with Brandon or Adrian or both? So now I'm even more confused. I'm going to have to listen to past past things. Have the mister here listen to it as well, because that's weird. It doesn't make sense.
Nope.
Let them know, hey, we're helping this person out. He's paying us some money. And then we're like, okay. But we couldn't legally, put him on the lease because it wasn't, it would have breached our lease.
That's right. They did have Michael Vaughn's, and maybe still do, but on their fridge. I remember watching one of their first videos and thought, oh my God, they have his missing picture on the fridge. Which normally wouldn't alarm me because they live in the area. Okay, they have a thing, but it just, with everything coming out of their mouth and then their name suspects, it just seemed very sinister to me. A trophy move, if you will.
You know what I mean? And so that's why, when we'd helped him, it was, okay, you say you can pay $275 a month. That's fine. Pay us.
Now it's $275 a month.
Right.
Before it was $250 a week.
Yeah, and he said week a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Hi, Marie.
Okay.
But we had no way to vet that or verify that it was actually his income that was coming through.
So maybe you were mistaken about the time that Adrian came. Was he really there for 2 months before, or did he leave and then come back? Did he?
So Adrian had periodically, he would one of the stipulations that Sarah, it wasn't so much me, but I sided with Sarah, was that Sarah set the boundary of him not having any females come to the house because all he wanted to do is get his, he wanted to get some. And so we set that stipulation. Look, we don't want you having another female, come and stay with you or whatever.
Just your wife was allowed? No other females. Just bang my wife instead.
Be in our house, and having to listen to you, whatever. And so he was like, that's fine. So Adrian had frequently, periodically, he would go. I remember he was having, he was seeing this one chick. I don't know what her name was verbatim, but she had drove a gold Cadillac. And she's this preppy girl, like super young. I don't know. I think she had like red hair or something, but like just preppy, you know, like had everything given to her, handed out to her, you know, and like it threw red flags, you know. But he was always constantly like he was always either going to Caldwell or Nampa or Boise, but every time he went, it was he claimed to go see a female, and sometimes it was the same female on different occasions. But he was
Okay.
like most of the time he wasn't home during the day. He was always out trying to get with someone.
Mistaken going from, to Boise or Nampa from Fruitland is quite a difference to go to California and come back. See where that.
No, and I do. And like I said, if I knew something about him having domestic violence charges, that would have threw a red flag for me. You know, it would have been like, okay, well, why do you have domestic violence charges? Like, what did you do? Who did you hit? Who did you abuse? Who tried to file charges against you? You know, that would have been a red flag for me.
Okay, so I've heard your statements about Brandon and Sarah being.
You can say it, Randy.
Being intimate. Did Adrian and Sarah have a sexual relationship?
So I can't confirm like me seeing it. I heard that from LE or Detective Keller or whatever, Kellum or whatever her name is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I learned that. That's also how I learned that she quote unquote said that he was a human trafficker, which I didn't learn that until after, when they were doing the search and stuff like that. So that really.
Did his wife say Adrian was a human trafficker? Because he said she.
Mm-mm. So this one's Adrian.
Okay. Yeah, that one, I don't really understand when he said she, which she he was talking, because it was about Sarah. It was about Sarah being intimate with the other guys. So did Sarah say Adrian was a human trafficker as well?
Like, mess with me, mentally, because I'm like, who the hell is this dude? And why is he even in our house?
But, how did he get there? Because
Sarah had brought him. And that's what I told you. So when Sarah had called me and said, I have this taxi customer, he's going through a rough time, like, what do you think about helping him out? And then that's when I told her, I said, you know how I feel about this. We've already been burned time and time again.
Okay.
I said, you're opening up the door to be burned again.
Why
and then it really set it off.
In July?
Say it again.
Why did you go to Montana in July of 2021?
Who?
You and Sarah? Why did you go to Montana? You were in Montana in July 22nd, I believe.
Yeah, no, I had gone to go see my mother.
Like he knew the answer, but he's answering a lot of questions towards the last hour of this whatever with questions. So he's trying to figure out. He's probably kind of shocked what she knows. Because I don't get, he wasn't doing that the first part of it, but now he's going to start answering everything with a question while he figures out what to say to her.
Yeah, and she asked him, why did you go to Montana? And he goes, who? But he's got a very prepared story.
He is all over the place, Patty. Absolutely.
Who?
You and Sarah? Okay.
I said, you're opening up the door to be burned again.
Why
and then it really set it off.
In July?
Say it again.
Why did you go to Montana in July of 2021?
Who?
You and Sarah? Why did you go to Montana? You were in Montana in July 22nd, I believe.
Yeah, no, I had gone to go see my mother, my mom and dad.
Oh, okay.
They lived at the time in Belgrade, Montana, and I had actually just was able because my dad had been very guarded, because I had hurt him like emotionally pretty bad, and so he had finally let his guard down enough to allow me to come to the house and see them. And it had already been 2 or 3 years since I had seen them. And so Sarah and I took a trip up there, and that was actually at the same time that my grandma and I took. We had gone to the GMC dealership in Bozeman because I had to go get a key remade for the Blazer that my grandfather had left me before he passed away in 2019.
How long were you in Montana?
We were only there for a couple of days. I think maybe a day or two, and then we had come back.
There was a whole big story for, and you had it like all ready to go. I didn't like that. Like, when someone's lying, they give you a whole bunch of extra information so they're trying to make their lie seem more believable. Like, all he would have had to do is, I went up to see my parents. But he added this whole story. It just makes me think it's a lie.
Yeah, it's too much information.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty much all the big red flags that I caught.
Hi, David. Hi, Selena. Yeah, the whole, well, how did you meet Adrian? How did he get to your house? And he was Sarah's taxi client. No.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's something with that. It's the only time he did this with the taxi, so... And you line everything else, and everything else is so sexual. The only thing that makes sense out of that is Sarah is an escort.
Yep, and he brings up sex abuse and human trafficking all on his own.
Pubic hairs.
Like no one asked him about that. He volunteered it.
Yeah.
So yeah, very weird dude.
Well, we got a few minutes. We can open panel if anyone wants to hop up here with any questions, or if they got a part they want us to quickly go over. We got about 25 minutes left before I gotta go to work. We'll drop the link right here. Real Gemini, no lie. He did it. Well, I definitely think he's involved, Hi, Pink Banjo. I think they all did something. They're all involved somehow. So there's things that Miss Brandy Neal Vaughn knows, and there's things that the law know that they aren't going to let all of us know.
One thing I'd really like to know, if anybody knows, that whole charge of domestic abuse with Adrian.
That is new to all of us. I think I saw a lot of people, even Justin, saying, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'd like to know when the abuse allegedly took place. Because it did seem, it did kind of seem like the way Stacey was talking about not having him on the lease and stuff like that. Again, like adding extra information to make the lie seem more believable. It does kind of seem like maybe Adrian wasn't staying there full time. Because they can't get the amount of money that he was supposed to be paying for rent, right? He's not on the lease.
All right, we will next take up the case of Sarah Wondra.
Excuse me, Your Honor, do you need me for anything else today?
I do not think so. No, thank you very much for your help.
All right, you're welcome.
Are you Sarah Wondra? Ma'am, can you hear me? I need you to move in a little closer to the mic. I'm unable to hear you.
No, I'm Stacey Wondra.
Okay. You're Stacey Wondra?
Yeah, I'm Sarah Wondra, sorry.
You're Sarah Wondra. Okay. Thank you.
That's what people were talking about. Why would she say she's Stacey? That's what you guys were trying to show us yesterday, or the other day.
All right. We
That's
will next
weird.
Take up the case of Sarah Wondra.
Excuse me, Your Honor, do you need me for anything else today?
I do not think so. No, thank you very much for your help.
All right, you're welcome.
Are you Sarah Wondra? Ma'am, can you hear me? I need you to move in a little closer to the mic. I'm unable to hear you.
No, I'm Stacey Wondra.
Okay. You're Stacey Wondra?
I'm Sarah Wondra, sorry.
You're Sarah Wondra. Okay, thank you.
What the
Ms.
hell?
Wondra, in this case, which is CR 38221769, you are charged with having violated the law in one count. It is alleged that you did on or about the 12th day of November of this year here in the state of Idaho fail to notify the coroner of a death, the death of Michael Vaughn, with the intent to prevent the discovery of the
They know he's dead? Okay, this is
manner of death. That is a felony here in the state of Idaho. Do you understand the allegation that's been made against you?
I understand what they've said, it's not correct.
All right. You have a number of rights when you are charged with a crime. The deputies typically hand out a document that describes those rights in detail. Did you receive a document like that?
They're giving me documents right now.
All right. So in a criminal case, ma'am, you have the right to remain silent as it relates to the underlying charges. You have the right to require the state to prove the charges beyond a reasonable doubt, the right to cross-examine and confront the evidence the state may put on in an effort to prove its case, the right to testify in your own defense if you wish to, the right to use subpoenas to bring witnesses and evidence to the trial as you may determine to be appropriate, and the right to be represented by an attorney at all stages of these proceedings. Do you understand that you have those rights?
I have those rights, but I don't have any reason to be silent. I did nothing wrong.
All right, well, so I'm going to remind you have the right to remain silent. I'm not going to say anything to you or ask you any questions that are designed to get you to speak about or encourage you to speak about the underlying events. Everyone who gives up that right and does speak about the case or make any statement at all about it, of course, those can be used against you, so I'll remind you of that. As it relates to your right to an attorney, do you intend to ask me to appoint an attorney at public expense? Do you intend to hire your own counsel or represent yourself in this case?
Represent myself? No, get an attorney.
Okay. Do you want me to appoint an attorney to help you at county expense?
I point one.
All right, let me have you raise your right hand to be sworn so I can ask you some questions to be sure you qualify. You solemnly swear the testimony that you're about to give me will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Ms. Wondra, what is your current physical address?
1102 Mervyn Street, Portland, Idaho, 83619.
And current telephone number? Don't scratch that. I'm not asking about that right now. Who is your current employer?
I am for myself, self-employed, taxi driver.
And what is your typical income in a week?
I wouldn't be able to tell you because I don't know the exact amount. I haven't been doing many taxi rides lately.
More or less than $500 a week?
Probably more than 500. I haven't been doing anything.
So are you working at all right now?
Well, obviously not if I'm in jail, but I only work day to day.
Right, so I'm just trying to get an idea of what your typical income is. Obviously, when a person's in custody, they can't generate income.
I don't know my exact income.
All right. Do you own any land or buildings anywhere?
I don't own land or buildings.
How much money do you have in the bank or cash on hand?
I think I have some change in my purse.
Do you own any personal property worth more than $1,000?
I've never been to the most I got, but I am partially car, but I also don't own the whole thing.
Meaning you owe money against it to someone?
No, I have owned it with my dad.
I see. All right, I do find you qualify for the appointment of an attorney. I'm going to appoint in this case Ms. Jolene Maloney. I did review an affidavit of probable cause in this case and do for purposes of this appearance find probable cause. What's the state's position, if any, on Vaughn?
Your Honor, the state is asking for a relatively high bond. Obviously, there are implications associated with this charge. And this is the young boy that we're talking about has been missing for a year and a half. And so, it should be noted that Ms. Wondra is on pretrial release for federal gun charges for felon in possession of a firearm. And so, and while that would have happened after Michael Vaughn.
So her Aunt Stacey, who seems to know nothing that goes on, can only speak for himself, both have gun charges. For what?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is something we'll definitely have to go through all this because I didn't see this. So the law knows or saying that Michael is passed on.
Is that court? Is that recent? Because he
That's
said a
from
year and a half.
2 years ago. That was, but I hadn't seen that. Oh, here's Samantha, whose video we're sharing.
Oh yeah.
Great interview. You let them both have the floor and talk, and you know, didn't really have to reel them in. But yeah, I appreciated that. You weren't one of those people that keep interrupting or throw your own shit. You just let them do their thing. And I do think that you hosting that absolutely is the cause why he got hauled back in. And I think something, whether it's big or small, it doesn't matter. It's all big. I think something will come of that. I think
I
it
sure
already
hope so.
has. I think it already has. Great show you did, Samantha. I hope I didn't say that wrong. Samantha, I believe. Hi, Dr. Phil. Rhonda Rodriguez. Yeah, the whole Taxi and Adrian, I think you're right. I think that Sarah Wondra is absolutely an escort or was escorting. Because why this? And again, sex abuse is on his mind when speaking with Brandy Neal Vaughn, Michael's mother, and while speaking about Michael. And I mean, he brought up pubic hair, sex abuse. All these things weren't even brought up by anyone else. And he was very, very angry. He was giving attitude to Brandy Neal that is just disgusting. We all saw it, even though you were trying to say nice words, your whole aura just went completely opposite. And if anyone had the rights to show up with an attitude like that, it's Brandy. All right.
Yeah.
No, she was up there calling him sir. Thank you. Don't worry about your cussing. Don't worry about me. Let's just talk. And when she goes and begs him, be my son's hero, will you please help me? And holds up that picture, that breaks me. We've watched it a few times now in the last couple days. And this son of a bitch just sat up there. We knew he wouldn't, right? But little does he know, I think he did help. I think he did help. Though he's lying through his teeth, I think that he is sitting now behind bars because he did something. So
And he knows more.
he does know a lot more. Clearly, he knows a lot more. And again, I always, for the 3 years, have called this dude a creeper. But already in my mind, it was a child predator creeper, if you know what I'm saying. Well, we say it on this channel. I think the dude's a pedophile. Okay? That's what I mean by creeper. And so when he said that to Brandy, when we're talking about a 5-year-old boy, little boy missing, was already up there. I just had not said it out loud before. Now we'll say it out loud. Hi, DC. But you guys, I have work in 20 minutes, so I'm going to finish getting ready. And we're going to watch more stuff on here.
I'm going to put the link of...
I'm going to add it to description for Samantha's channel. If you guys want to listen to it, just on her channel with nobody's... What's it called? Nobody's talking.
Yeah, without us
opinions.
stopping and starting. And
yeah.
I'm going to put the link right in the chat so you
Thank
guys can
you.
go and watch that now if you want.
Yep, and then I'm going to also add it in the description. It'll let me add it to the description as soon as I log off here. It's all ready to go. Thank you, Samantha, for hosting that. That was a very important show. I'm really glad that that happened. I was curious, did that kind of all fall in place by an accident? Was it a beautiful accident? Okay, perfect. Yes, please email if you'd like to collab at all, Samantha, with either or both. We're gonna watch more stuff. He's gonna watch more stuff. I'm not kidding. I'm not sure we even got to everything, but he was like for real taking notes.
Yeah, after like we stopped, there's still quite a bit more, but it just starts getting really tense and emotional, and it's more he just gets more and more angry.
All spur of the moment.
And
wow.
not really slipping up anymore. Like we got his big slip ups.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's an ass. That's for sure.
Definitely. Spur of the moment, Samantha says. So that, as brutal as it is listening, and emotional and watching Brandy go through it, God does work in mysterious ways. And dude got picked up after Samantha hosted this and is still, I believe, sitting behind bars. So I think this was a good thing, as bad as it is. I think that's one show that might be helpful in this situation, because he told on himself. He self-snitched. I thank the Lord that he is half brain dead. His words, not mine, because he sure is a dumb criminal. So that's
Yep,
probably
he really screwed himself with that interview. So hopefully they start putting the screws to him and get the truth out of him, because he definitely knows more than what he's saying. There's no doubt in my mind.
His notes look like your book of notes. Yeah, we didn't get quite to everything, and we'll do a part 3.
And just an FYI, I haven't been following this case
That's right. He's
much
kind
at
of
all.
brand new to this case. I haven't dug as deep as I go in other cases, but I've been following it with all of you. But this happened within, I believe, 3 weeks or so of Summer going missing, and I was, head deep in that. Still am. There's just nothing new to report right now.
Yeah, so
You're
point
right.
is, I was unbiased. I had
Yeah.
no preconception about Stacey at all.
Yep.
This is the only thing I've seen him in. I haven't watched him do other interviews. I haven't seen any videos he's made. Nothing.
Are you
This is-
interested in watching more of him now?
Oh yeah, because the dude is full of shit.
So I'm going to go to work, and Mister's probably going to get to watching some more stuff now that it's on his mind, and we will plan another show soonish. I might do a members live later from work. I don't know. We'll see how busy I am at work. But thank you, Samantha, for having that and letting people share that, because that is one of the most important shows in the cases I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, y'all go watch that video. Watch the whole thing.
Yep. We'll
See
end
if
this.
see if we missed stuff, because we probably did.
Oh yeah, and email us ihearvoices@yahoo.com, and we'll get to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hopefully, monkey's found.
I hope so. Well, I'm gonna get ready. Thanks all for being here. I'm gonna let the Mister end with this one.
Thank you very much for watching, guys. And yeah, watch that video and see if you notice anything yourselves. And yeah, I'll be looking into more stuff too. Oh, Sheila, the full video is right here. That link. That's the full interview. There's some with Stacey before Brandy comes up, and then Brandy comes up later. And just be warned, it gets pretty gut-wrenching. It gets pretty awful. It's just, oh God, it's hard to watch. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. God bless. Hope you all had a great Christmas. And we'll see you soon. What does she do? Bye!